All right, we're just going to start this video. Hello, I'm Zeus Pantera. I'm the host of Inner Fetish, and we're here at the Elysian Annihilator, which is definitely a brand run by an English-speaking company, because even China wouldn't write the word Annihilator on their goddamn headphones. So, if I put gemstones in the title in this channel, which I don't, this would have 3 of them. These are $3,000. And, in fact, these are the brushed titanium revision, which are $200 more. And they were loaned to me by a patron, because no company or retailer in their right mind would send me a $3,000 IEM. But I got around the system by having people who like me. So, these. We'll start with the box. We're going to work our way up, because I feel wholly unqualified to talk about a $3,000 IM, but we're going to do it fucking anyway. So you get some boxes. It says make no compromises here. This is where the warranty card came in. By the way, the warranty card says make no compromises with all the information on the back. But let's put that in there because I'm sure the person who bought this definitely wants all this stuff gently put back in the box neatly. We're adults here. The wire strap was felt, which is interesting. Comes with spin fit tips, only spin fit tips. Comes with a little Elysian cleaning rag. It fucking better for $3,000. Here's the case, which looks like every other IM case is an earwax cleaner and thing. Only it's entirely made of like micro suede, not micro suede. The stuff they make the inside of Porsches out of. It's like that. It's like, this is good. This piece of paper, working our way to the gold box. We see a very clear vision of tomorrow. This predestined future will hold with, this predestined future will unfold with Elysian Acoustics Labs in the very center of attention. Join us and enter a new era, an era with boundless possibilities and transformational experience. See, I think of Elysian, and I think of that movie Elysian with Matt Damon, which, by the way, was supposed to be played by Eminem, and I would have totally believed Eminem in that part more than Matt Damon. And so this just reads to me like a corporation taking over the world and enslaving the people and the masses. Just my take on it. Here's the inside of the box, which I saw this, and I saw this is where the IMs were, and oh, there's the wire. But then I saw that there was a box in a box, and so I was like, well, how does this box come out? And it was like, I told this box out. Oh, that was glued in there. That's just a glued part of the box in a box. So we just nothing happened. It's fine, because that's not what we're concerned. The drawer was where this was, in the drawer. So yeah, that's that. So I definitely didn't unglue that box. And then here's the gold cube, the titanium 4.4, the only one that matters. Anyway, it's a gold cube that says Annihilator on it. And I couldn't fit it, so it has to be like in 2 sections. So it says like Annihilator. All right, so listening experience. No, wire first. So I did not unwrap the 4.4 because it's got plastic on it for the owner to let him do that. It is an odd shape. It has a little lip here. It says liquid. So yeah, there's that. And then it says liquid here. Is this is that not the Elysian logo? Who just want to make this cable? Hold on, let me see if it says it comes with a different cable. New custom strand. No, it's copper. Aesthetic uplift. New packaging design. I want to peel the plastic off so bad. Please, no. 7-driver tribrid, including 1 Foster dynamic driver. Don't know what that means. 2 electrostatic tweeters and 4 balanced armatures in a 4-way crossover. They are 22 ohms. They have a dive pass system for dynamic deep control vent, dynamic back phase cancellation test with 3D AccuPost system for proprietary acoustic chamber made to reproduce it, whatever. None of these words matter. All right, end of the day, not even the price matters. What matters is Zeos plug into thing, and I just happen to have the RME ADI 2/4 Pro SE balanced amp, which is like cheating, by the way, in case you're wondering what cheating looks like. So let's instead go here to the JDS Labs Atom Amp 2, which is $130. So you could buy a lot of vows for the price of this. I have been listening ridiculously on my render tips, because if you're gonna test something to its extremes, you eventually end up at the render tips. These are foam-filled silicone. They're a little large. You can see this thing here is the electrostat. They're completely clear. I gotta give them this. They're completely clear. The wire, by the way, which starts there, is a nice 4-wire weave up to this insane, like, really, really nice split, honestly. It's a little bit sharp there. Like, I'm not going to cut you sharp. It's just like, you could definitely use this to clean it under your nails if you get bored while you're sitting there playing with your goddamn IEM cable. Up to a 4-wire weave up here. So nice and thick, and it feels proper. And then it is not a 2-pin or an MMCX. It's the Pentacon, not to be confused with the Pentacon thing, which is the little nipple there. And it's better than MMCX. It's just annoying because no one really makes wires for this, except for Effect Audio, my collab. But you're not going to downgrade to a $360 wire for this. By the way, I'm going to have hiccups now, and I'm not going to stop this review. So, you get to see inside them. They look really cool. It's an IM. You get to see little crossover assemblies here. There's the other balanced armatures there inside of it. If I'll pull one of the tips off. I'll pull the large one off because it's easier to put back on. Because that is a large nozzle. This has got a big nos, baby. A big nos with a fat filter screen on it, too. It looks like it's meant to stop fish and not plankton. So if you can get the tips over it, which involves... Here, I'll do this slow so people can see how you do it. There we go. That's how you put on a tip. You got to get right. You get your thumbnail right there and push the silicone in. So let's strap these on my head again. And let me get back into the zone. Because I was zoning out to sort of focus in. I was trying to zone out and focus in. I'm trying to zone out so that these $3,000 IMs can be like, hey, Zeus, wake up and love me, you motherfucker. And I'm like, ah. John Coltrane was playing, by the way. Chim Chim Cheree. That's AI. That's an AI. I found an AI drawing. So there you go. Need more sexy nuns in anime, I think. Got spoiled by, what was the nun from Black Lagoon? Hold on. 9 Inch Nails is about to hit. So, the Ghosts series of songs from 9 Inch Nails is basically just noise. And it's never been clearer. I hear all the noise. I hear it all. I hear everything that's happening in this song and everything that isn't happening in this song. I hear everything that this person who mixed this song ate for breakfast. I can tell you what their farts smelled like. I will say this. All right. I'm actually going to take it off of this because that's fine. How are we doing here? We'll put it on the Orchard Audio streamer, which honestly is still about half the cost of these. And an entire giant box made in North America. Okay. Now we've got Raffaella Cara Fiesta, which sounds like this. Where's my remote? Copyright infringement. I gotta figure out an easier way to switch those speakers on and off than turning this knob 35 times. It was just, I plugged it into this like before the reviews. I'm like, let's go. Why is this? There we go. Okay, so back to this. This song has a lot of shit going on. What I'm trying to point out by playing it for you is there's a lot. There's singing and there's maracas and there's some bass. And everything is sort of like compartmentalized in this own little box where it's doing its thing and being overly analyzed and like zoomed in and microscoped and like, oh. So, in continuing with feeling like I am completely, because the most expensive I am, if we're going to be those people, which we're not, right? Everyone, class, we're not those people who think that more expensive means better, right? Right? Fucking right. But that said, if there was this master like line that, $800 IEMs, those can't possibly compete with $2,000 IEMs because they don't have the budget to get all the right parts. And then, $2,000 IEMs, those are absolutely, under the lip of the $3,000 IEMs. So I'm usually in the 60 to 500 range. That's a good, solid range. You can get good shit at $60. You can go all the way up to $500. This is something really interesting and decent. You get the Mega 5 ESTs. That's a good, solid chunk of budget. Then you get up into the very specialized $1,000 things that I drop into a hat. That should be 3 times a year. I want to see a Soft Ears Twilight come across my desk, or a Dunu Zen Pro, where it's just here's something very special. It's a little more expensive, but here you go. And I will accept that. And then you get things like the Lecture Cadenza, which I just sold in the yard sale. By the way, if you didn't see, sold the Lecture Cadenza, the $2,200 IM, for less than $1,000. You all should be bidding on things in my yard sales. Join my Patreon or Subscribestar. Anyway, but those IMs were the top tier, fuck you. Why? They taught me that wires make a goddamn difference, because they were 8 ohms. And I put on my cheap wire and it sounded like ass. And then I put back another expensive wire and it sounded okay. And I put back another cheap wire and it sounded like ass. And I'm like, oh, God, why? Changed my whole perspective of things. But I still sold them, because as much as they were expensive, they didn't do things like you would imagine at $2,200. Not these. I'm still talking about the Lecture Cadenza 12s. You would imagine they would do everything better than every other IM at $500. And that's always never the case. Always never the case. That's the way to go about this. So now that we've bumped that budget up from the measly $2,200 to $3,000 to these Annihilators, because they're called the Annihilators, do they do everything better than everything else? No, of course not. That would be ridiculous. It's like saying, well, this Ferrari P45, which is a custom-made Ferrari, is better than every other car. It is not, because I can't put my golf clubs in it. Or I can't where do I put my cooler to go camping with my family of 4? You can't. All right? Everything can't, no matter how much you spend, you can't win it all. So now we got to figure out, what is this doing better than everything else in the category, or else there's no reason to buy a $3,000 IM. And as I sit here, like I have been sitting here, trying to figure that out, I don't know if it exists. They don't do bass, the best bass of all time. Honestly, just did the Quattros, the binary acoustic Quattros, and the sub bass on those was just while it was a lot, it could do bass down to 8 hertz. So would I say that $270 IM does better bass than the Annihilators? Possibly. Certainly more interesting, certainly more memorable. See, I'm going to send these back to the owner, tomorrow. And I don't know if I'm going to remember them. They're good. They're real fucking good. I was sitting here and I'm just I feel like it's just layering all this music on top of me. It's like a book. If you took a book and you opened it right to the middle and you have all these pages and you held that book over my face and you let those pages go and they flutter down. And that is the information being cascaded onto my face. But is that treble? Is that mid-range? Is that low end? Is that soundstage? Is that imaging? What is that? It's a feeling of different, but we're all still working with the main components of an IM here. There's still a bunch of drivers and a little box that goes in your ear hole. There's a bunch of little tubes that come out to make it happen. So I'm not saying that these are not worth $3,000. I'm saying that I don't know what to compare them to and what they're trying to be the best at. Because let me tell you something. In life, if you try to be the best what? I'm trying to be the best human being. You fucking don't try to do that. You need to be the best pitcher in the major leagues with a curveball. You need to get very specific with what your dreams are, children. If you're a kindergartner, let me give you advice. You're not going to be the best at everything. You need to hone your shit down to a fine pencil point. Keep sharpening that pencil until you could go right through a fucking steel plate. Because when you find that one thing you could be best at, you do that. And I don't know what these are trying to be best at. They're very good in every category. And they sound different than a lot of the IEMs I listen to, even the expensive ones. They've got this sort of like very airy presentation of sound. But are they the best IEM I've ever listened to? No, I'd still take my Soft Ears Twilights over them. Because those just sound more natural. If those were going for naturalness, they did it. Simplicity and natural. Fine. MAGA 5 EST, which I was yelling at DMS about this IEM, and he was like, oh, the MAGA S, and he brought it up, and now I can't stop thinking about it. That fuck. Because, yeah, like that, $500 is like, that had things going for it. One or two things are like, this is the best I've heard of in this category in an IEM at this price. And if when I'm supposed to compare a $3,000 IEM to a $500 IEM, that doesn't feel like the right thing to do, Zeus. But it might be. It might be the only thing we could do. I'm sounding very negative, and I don't want Lee from the listening audience to think I'm giving a negative review of this IEM. It's fucking fantastic. I could sit here and listen to my entire playlist, the Sneakers soundtrack with Robert Redford. It's got the most dynamic range ever, and it is in fact the song that blew up one of my speakers because I had it playing a little bit too loud, and it goes from very quiet to like, wah, ah. But I've got it up on this, which has a this, which, ooh, this. And I want to listen to this entire 10-minute and 39-second long song. I want to listen to it in its entirety. I want to hear it on this. It's like a fun thing. They are fun. They're not a boring... the best praise I can give to these right now is they're not boring. I would be very upset if I got these, put them on, and I didn't want to listen to the next song. Then they would be like, these are shit. Don't give a fuck. But I can't give them a 10 out of 10 because they're just too expensive. Nothing, I don't think anything at this price point could ever get a 10 out of 10 because price to performance will always be a category that comes up. And I don't know, you would have to do some fucked up shit to my brain at $3,000 to make the price to performance ratio happen. I'd have to literally have an orgasm every time anything played. Oh God, pants. And that's not going to happen. So you could usually assume anything at like $1,500 and above, never going to get a 10 out of 10. Because and that's, if you're rich and you could afford $2,500, $3,000 IEMs, fine. But I got to look at the mass of all IEMs that are coming out. And you're way up. You're way over there with like 10 things at that price point. And there's hundreds of them down here. And there's so many good things. So, yeah, I really like these. I'm going to give them the 9. They make me want to listen to music on it. Would I personally... Okay, Zeos, you could have these. And you just have to trade $3,000 worth of headphones away. Headphones I don't even use anymore. They're just sitting on the wall. There. Stellias or these. I probably would trade the Stellias for these. I said it. But if you're like, hey, that pair of tungstens and, I don't know, 3 $500 headphones, no. Absolutely not. Tungstens, fuck you. No, my tungstens are no. And I'm more interested in those 3 $500 IEMs. So it's a balance. It's a sheer balance. So that's how I've bullshit now for the last 19 minutes. 19 minutes, right? Imaginary AI nun girl in leather. 19 minutes. I feel like that's about the right amount of time. I'm going to keep listening now that I'm done. But it's like, did I describe the sound? Was Zeos, did you look at the frequency? No, I didn't. I don't care about anything inside of it. I don't care about the design plans. I don't care about what the creator wanted or his vision. This is not life or death, which is why I picked the desk mat. Check out my Reddit for the thing with the desk mats. I don't know if this still exists. But audio should never be life and death, and $3,000 feels like life and death. It feels like something you need to save your life. People's pacemakers don't cost $3,000 fucking dollars. Do they? I actually have no idea what a pacemaker... Echo, what does a pacemaker cost?
A pacemaker costs around $6,000, although the price can vary depending on
See,
the
there you
specific
go.
model
It's half the
and medical
cost of a
facility.
pacemaker.
Additionally, more advanced devices like ICDs, implantable cardioverter
Why should you
defibrillators, and
keep going?
CRT devices with an ICD function can cost more, with prices ranging from $20,000 to $30,000.
She knew way too much about this. That was way too much information. I'm just pointing that out. Also, I heard CRT, so if I can get a CRT for 20 grand, there you go. So there you go. It's a fraction of the cost of cardio control devices. But will it make your heart skip a beat? This review's over. They're really good. They do everything I want, and they make all the sounds that I think you should expect, and they sort of excite the waves more than I would normally see in like the average of IEMs I review in this channel. Would I run over your mother in a car to get a set? No. No. But we got to use a cool wallpaper. I got to spiel. We got to ask her a question. I'm done. Patreon, subscribe to support this channel. If you're one of the people who wants to send me weird shit, you should be a patron. Because then you could contact me in the $10 a month patronage chat, and I'll actually listen to you, because $5 a month is pretty much just you're seeing the videos, you're getting the sound demos, but I can't really interact except for the monthly Q&A, which I should go answer that tonight while I'm loopy, because it is 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, I'm done with this. You're done with that? Wallpaper in the Horde. Get this. Be done. A lot of balls calling something the Annihilator. It just, that's a lot. You got huge ones. Huge gold balls.